Thank you.
You're up, Commissioner.
All right, we are in session. I don't see any changes to the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. First item is invoices, Commissioners report, credit applications. I look through there, I don't see any but the one that...
The weird Idaho one that...
And I do have a couple of reimbursements I need to just run past you before we process them.
What do you got?
So, I have, this one's new, and I have a mileage reimbursement to go to Boise at the end of the month. There is a per diem request that's associated with that same individual, but it's normal. I'm not sure why that individual's going to take their own vehicle as opposed to a county vehicle, so I can that off to Braden because I just handed him a couple of other invoices that he gets to deal with. I could just call Trina and tell her county vehicle to be taken and that should be
Or
satisfied.
just give us a letter of justification, give us a memo.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, we've asked them to come before us or present in one way or another.
I've also got three reimbursements, three
Now,
reimbursements.
it's very likely that there might not be a car available because of the conference that's going on and everybody, but just,
There isn't her off.
but just write something that says that then.
I'll double check.
I mean, if there's,
There's also a, Sherry and two of her employees went to New Orleans. When they did the per diem reimbursement request, they didn't use the higher out-of-state rate that's qualifying for here. We didn't catch it, so she's asking for the additional dollars. There's going to be three of those, so I just kind of wanted to bring those to your attention. They are
And we already paid the other part.
Yes.
So,
They are appropriate, but I wanted you to be aware because you'll see it on next week's.
okay, that's no problem.
Also, this one kind of is just to see what you think. That Nashville conference that everybody went to, we had one individual that took 2 bags for himself. That's really not a norm. So when I put together the travel policy, would you be okay if I just put 1 bag per person unless prior, I think I got a sample policy that says 1 bag if you're going for up to 5 days.
so
If you're going for longer than that, potentially you would need more.
typically, an addition, anything more than one bag will start at $75 is what none of the airlines will charge you. I would just put a dollar amount and say, you are authorized the first $75. After that,
Okay.
you can take whatever you want. You want to take 14 bags and whatever, you're paying for it, but once you hit the dollar amount, that's it. Because then if the airlines change or whatever there's there, then that's in place. But that's usually like my government rate. When I fly, I get 1.
Okay. That one was just weird. We've never paid for more than 1 bag. And the individual spouse went, but she's just took a carry-on. So that's why I thought maybe we would adjust the policy because we've never had to address it.
But, well, that's what I say, is that typically 1 bag.
Okay.
I had booked a flight the other night, and yeah, it's, all of the airlines right now is between $60 and $75 for your first bag.
Yeah.
And then every additional one right now, they're nickel and diming you.
Okay. Is that appropriate? Okay.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I wanted to bring that one up, but,
Yep.
and then, like I said, I gave Braden a couple of Boston conference invoices.
Oh, sweet.
Okay,
That's all.
thank you.
You want to do everything together, or you want to do it? Mr. Chairman, I move to approve claims, claims commissioners invoices as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Next, we have salary rate approval forms.
The top one that you're signing is, it was effective August 13th. It got filed away into the employee's file before processing, so it had to get dug out. So you're signing that one after the fact. And our office is going to work with HR on a few things.
Well, it looked like juvenile in the jail, or at least hiring some people.
September was good. I think we hired more than we lost.
Wow, for the first time in like... All right.
I should say August was.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the salary rate approved forms as presented.
Motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Alcohol license.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve alcohol licenses as presented.
You have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Shanda.
Good morning, Commissioner Shonda Crystal, Purchasing and Economic Analyst. I'm here to continue our discussion on the project management professional training. I was tasked to go back to departments and get commitments from employees that they are interested in this training and potentially dollar amounts as well. So I was only able to hear back from 4 departments, and actually we need to start with the Commissioner's office, if that's okay. That we did have 3 employees that we were looking at from the Commissioner's department, Braden Clayson, myself, and Jeff Huff. We were looking at training, and we just need a commitment again from that department that those individuals are interested and that we have funds available to pay for those.
Yep.
Or if we want to adjust it.
Yep.
No, I think the 3 individuals would be good.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. So then that brings our number up to 5 departments and 12 employees of the original 33. All the rest of the department, some people declined. There was a couple out of juvenile probation and detention that it just wouldn't fit well with their schedule right now. They're still interested in eventually, right? But it just didn't really fit. Emergency services declined, but the rest, the event center, landfill, road and bridge, and the sheriff's office hadn't responded. The sheriff Manu did get back. It is difficult. We don't have dates until the commission confirms and we move forward with the contract. And I said dates. It is very difficult for people to say that they are committed and available.
And we're still looking at them coming here, not traveling. Okay.
Yes, and I did reach out. Thank you so much for the City of Chubbuck. It's going to work out great, barring I set a date that they're available. So tying those 2 things together should be okay, but they've got all the AV stuff set up, and they were very friendly and happy to work with us. So that should work out just fine once we nail down that date.
And even if we don't have 30 people, if we have 15 or 20, I think that that's good for the first time around anyway, and see what happens and how we like it. It wouldn't hurt, so.
You got clerk's office, your office, you got people going to that?
I wanted to go, but Jason didn't respond to the email.
Okay, well, you guys need to plan, because like accounts managers and stuff like that, and this is a key piece. And so that's the biggest problem, is that a lot of people just think that this is like, project manager is just going to be some construction. That's not how that works. And so make sure that your office has either you or somebody that you want, because that's the, start using that language, because when you start using that language and what they're doing, and that's why what we're finding is we're starting to put all these contracts together, is there's all these fun things that if we have everybody working in that same sheet of music, it's a lot easier to do it.
And finance and grants is a key piece of that.
Yes.
If you've got some slots available, then we'll just...
Yeah, plan on you guys.
Okay.
So I plan on like 20 slots.
Okay.
And set the date, and then we can fill in slots with people. Instead of trying to accommodate everybody and see what dates are going to match, you're just going to have to set the dates, and people will have to fit in.
Okay.
And to say go.
Perfect.
Cool.
So that is the next. All the departments that did respond back all confirmed that they had funding available in fiscal year 22, which, if ever all the dominoes fall, we will get an invoice before the deadline and be able to have it. I'm just going to code it for their piece, the number of employees that they were.
Well, if this is going to be kind of a countywide thing, one of the options was we could use county operation funds.
Right?
But Jason, after I talked to Jason about this, he did want to put a disclaimer out that this has been talked about, but we never formally budgeted for it, either this year or next year.
No, it was a,
So for the sake of transparency, if we're going to move forward and do this again, we should probably start including it as part of the budget, just to be as transparent as possible, especially at a cost of $40,000. That's pretty significant for a non-budgeted item.
and this needs to be, we need to have like a professional development education line item is what the best way to do it, because you might have a project management one year, and then the next year you might have, maybe it's more an account focused type training, and then one year you might have more like an IT.
Kind of like the leadership that we've done.
Yeah.
But maybe just bump that up to include multiple
Yep.
training opportunities countywide. In '22, we will have funding. '23, I don't know that we will because of the new juvenile
Yeah.
billing model. This year, we had that flexibility just because we would be able to take advantage of credits and usage. Next year, we're not going to have that.
Yeah.
So,
So then that
Move
is,
forward.
okay, that is the next step then. Wednesday, I'll bring contracts before the board for review. If that is approved, then that's what authorizes me to set the date, right? I get with Chubbuck, make sure that those match together, and then I can reach out to all those departments and say, great, these are the dates, right? What employees do you have and the funds available, and get that going in this year's budget.
and I would just put it to county operations education.
So even those, so like GIS, maintenance, planning and development,
This is, I think, a countywide benefit.
Yeah, it's a county, yeah.
So it falls within
Yeah.
the purview of what you've set the priority and tasks for county operations.
Okay. That's fine.
whatever.
That's
And
right.
honestly, if you've got money left over in most of the general fund items, the difference of that money rolling into general fund reserves versus county operations rolling into general fund reserves, it's going to be a wash.
Just identify the monies, and then we can
Yep.
make sure where it's coming from. But that'll be the first source.
Okay. I'll get with Chris to make sure then that I get the right place before that goes.
It is countywide, but I also want departments to be responsible and know that they're paying for training too. Now, that's got to be parts of each budget in each department.
Cool.
Okay, excellent. I'll get that contract then before the board and move forward to set dates and get that completed.
Okay. We're going to be at recess for a couple minutes of bid opening. We got a,
We got a minute. Ratify,
That's not it, but that's the other item I needed you to sign today.
ratify, Jeff went up and signed the emergency agreement to allow the camp up at the event center,
the firefighters for the fire.
so.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agreement between the Bureau of Land Management, Fire Incident Response, and authorize as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And this is the discussion that we had last week
Yes,
about,
to sign the recurring, giving accounts payable authorization to pay those invoices. There's 4 different pages.
gotta sign each one.
Yeah. There's a monthly, annual, quarterly, and semi-annual.
You got a check request?
This item right there is, a couple weeks ago, you signed the public defense,
Oh, yes, that was that, yeah, okay.
and I didn't have a formal page for it. I couldn't find it, Brayden said, he made me feel better, said he didn't see it either in the documents, but they sent that to us and said, by the way, that's due today, could you get it signed?
Lawyers.
And I said, I didn't have it, so anyways, there we go.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, we have it now.
Thank you, yes. And I'll forward that, I'll also get Chris to you. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the recurring monthly entries and authorize signature and payment as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. By the time we read this, it'll be time to go to the public hearing. Okay. All right, we're going to have a public hearing. This is a bid opening September 15th, 2022 at 9:15. The solicitation is a request for proposal for Bannock County office cleaning services. There are no addendums, no bid bonds were required. So when we open the public hearing, we'll read aloud and acknowledge the response from the individual person or businesses, the name and the bid amount. And we'll make a motion to accept the bid as submitted and take them under advisements. And all suppliers of bids will receive notification once a contract has been awarded.
Do you have a sealed one, or do we have just a,
These are not sealed bids.
okay. How many do we get?
We got two.
Two, sweet.
Yes, very exciting. And this is the rebid, so.
You want me to read both of these?
Please.
All right, this RFP response is submitted in accordance with all documents and provisions, the specific RFP number and title. We've received two submittals, one from Night Owl Janitorial for $79,500 and one from New Clean LLC for $93,600. Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept both of these bids and refer them to committee for review.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. With that being said, thanks for joining us. Leo?